If you're like me, and I hope that you are, you fondly remember the days before every arcade racer was at a big, impossible festival where you're overwhelmed with cars and choices before you ever even really get going in the game. Now, it may sound like it, but that's not a shot at Forza Horizon. I love Forza Horizon. But the crew, test drive, everything's a big, impossible festival now. Where are the old school arcade racing games? They haven't gone away entirely, they're just mostly made by smaller developers these days. And here's one called Turbo Boost Racing for the Nintendo Switch, which the publisher sent over for review. It's very much a throwback arcade racer. You're a nameless driver, you're mostly in the desert racing around redneck obstacles and low-rent Las Vegas-like attractions. There's non-stop butt rock on the soundtrack. It's a new game in terms of release date, but also one that's instantly familiar. Now, there's no story to speak of, but there are different modes, including quick races and tournaments that you can play either by yourself or with friends via local multiplayer. 12 different tracks, 16 different cars, and lots of player avatars to collect. It looks okay, the cars are decent, tracks are moderately fun, it's fine. There are no crazy stunts, no sweet jumps or power-ups, aside from your turbo boost, of course. It's a very nuts and bolts arcade racing game, and hey, that's okay. Sometimes you just need that. But boy, do I have a sneaking suspicion that this was a mobile game before it landed on the Nintendo Switch platform. Now, there doesn't seem to be a mobile game called Turbo Boost Racing in either the Apple App Store or in the Google Play Store, but maybe it exists somewhere under a different name. Or maybe I just can't use search functions properly anymore, who knows? So why do I figure it's probably made for mobile? Well, aside from the generic gameplay and the 3 different kinds of currency you seem to earn after every race, there's a big pause icon for you to touch in the upper left corner of the screen at all times. Why would that be there? Speaking of pausing, when you do stop the action and enter the menus, you're greeted by a comical amount of performance options for a Switch game. Frame rate toggles, levels of textures and shadows. You can tweak a bunch of stuff here. There's no need to really, but I guess if you were playing this on a hand-me-down phone, because it's probably a mobile game, and speaking of the menus, boy, they're familiar. They seem like a blend of Nailed and Baja 1000 and Gravel and about a dozen other games like this one. But the only real knock I have against this game, aside from its averageness, is that the steering is twitchy as hell. I did wonder if it's because I use a Wii U Pro controller with the Switch, but no, it's squirrely with the Joy-Cons too. Eventually you get used to it, but at first, you're all over the place. Apparently there are also motion controls available, although the game calls them gyro controls. Again, that's mobile game terminology, probably. And yes, if you roll credits on the game, you'll see that ports exist or are coming for iPhone, Android, Windows, and Xbox One. Although again, I can't find this game listed in any of those storefronts. Also, it has a copyright date of 2025, and we're currently in 2024, so maybe I'm time traveling or something? I don't know what to tell you. No info came along with the code, no press notes, nothing. Ultimately, Turbo Boost Racing reminds me of the days of Xbox Live Arcade, when some dusty new racer came out every month or so, and you could play it for about 12 hours over a weekend and get all 200 achievement points. Turbo Boost Racing is fine, and sometimes a game that's just fine is what you need. Is it rewarding to play? No, not really. Does it excel at anything? Again, no, it does not. But sometimes you just want to interact with a thing while doing something else. And look, you're probably way behind on your podcast listening and need a good podcast game. If you're into arcade racers, this one will suit you just fine for some casual background gaming. I know I don't do a lot of new game reviews here, but if you like these, go ahead and let me know with a comment, and, like and subscribe and all that. If you're enjoying the reviews, I'll make a point to seek out more codes in the future. Thanks for watching, I'll be back shortly, see you then.